All right, guys, so here's my wrap up video of Masters Nationals 2021. I competed in Classic Physique C division. All right, now I just want to say that I'm going to be 3 weeks post show this weekend. So it's December 28th today. And 2021, so we're getting towards the end of 2021, and I finished second place. Okay, that division, second place. Here's my trophy, boom, right there. Second place, right? So I'm actually really disappointed in my second place. I wanted to go there specifically for a pro card. But who doesn't, right? Like, I mean, if you compete in a national event, you're probably going there because you want to win a pro card. The only other reason I think to go to a national event is just to test yourself against better quality competition, right? But it costs a lot more. There's usually travel expenses that are a lot more expensive. The tanning is a lot more expensive. Your competition day is usually a lot harder. There's a lot more that goes on in a national show. So if you're not going there to win a pro card, you should have a lot of money, a lot of time, and definitely have a super passion for the sport, at least in my opinion. So I think I already put a video out about how things went in the actual leading up to it. But I'm going to recap when we first got there, okay? The day before the show, we did a check-in. The Classic Physique division guys checked in an hour after the bodybuilding. You went in, they got you in line. They put you in a position where you were doing your height and weight. I weighed in at 204. I was only 1 pound underneath my highest weight I could be, okay? They made me take my socks off, all right? So if you think you could cheat, okay, like the height, and put something in your socks or something with they make you take everything off. They make you strip your socks off, strip everything off except your posing trunks, and then do your height and weight, okay? That's the heaviest I've ever weighed in. Granted, I was carved up like what I thought was to the gills, okay? I thought I had carved up so much. I've been eating like crazy, so I got stuff all over my shirt. I was carved up so much, what I thought. So I had over 1,500 grams of carbs by the time that I had weighed in. And then I couldn't drink any water from the night before until that weigh-in, because I literally couldn't gain any more weight. According to my scale, I was already gonna probably be close, really close. So I didn't know what their scale was gonna say. Well, I weighed in at 204. They check us all in. We go into the next room, and then we do the athletes meeting. They say how this is the biggest event that they've had in years. They kind of give us the rundown of how things are going to go the next day. Keep in mind, they tell us that they're going to stick to the schedule as best as they can. The schedule that they gave us was a week prior, maybe even 2 weeks prior, depending on how fast you got your email, but it told you the scheduling of all the classes. Okay, and I was supposed to be getting on stage or getting ready by 10 a.m. So I was actually competing with my buddy who was competing in light heavyweight. So we went and got tanned that night because for some reason they split up the tanning. The tanning was, the check-ins and everything was in the morning, and this was all at McCormick Ranch, like resort center, and in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so then we had to leave. Now, luckily I live in Arizona, but it's just still a 45, 50-minute drive. To leave, drive home, and then 7 hours later, go back to get tanned. So I think they should have been a lot more efficient with that and done tanning at the same time as check-ins, because a lot of people are traveling. They're all over the place. It's going to cost them a lot more money going back and forth. But they didn't do that. So even myself and my training partner had to leave and come back, and he lived actually about an hour away, so he lived even further away. So we go back, get tanned. The tanning was with, what was it called? What's it called? Sunrays, liquid Sunrays. If you ever do a Masters event, guys were just, they don't care. They're just walking around, just dicks slapping all over the place. They just don't care because they're probably 35, 45, 55 and older and not getting laid anyway. So just flopping all over the place. Like, just don't give a shit. And I still care, right? So I'm not going to be just flopping all over the place. So, when you go in to get tanned, you usually be prepared. You're going to want to get exfoliated the day before. You're going to want to make sure you're shaved everywhere. So obviously I did that the day before. I was shaved everywhere. I wore a sock on my junk. That's what you're going to want to do because that allows for like tanning to go everywhere. But it was like one of the quickest spray tans of my life. They literally just did like one coat, and it was like a really light coat. And they're like, all right, go get dried off. We're going to do a darker coat tomorrow. We don't want you to get too chalky or lumpy. And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Because that kind of happens to me. But once again, on stage, I wasn't dark enough. So, wow. It is one of those things where it's just, I got to figure out myself, my tan situation, because I just haven't figured it out yet. And the next morning, we got tanned again. So we left, went home, got tanned, went back, got tanned again. Well, here's where everything kind of went really, really bad. As soon as we got done with tanning, you go to where the check-in area is so that people can wait backstage, and we could like put all of our stuff down and relax because the show always takes a while to develop. Hold on one second, sorry. Anyways, so, check this out, by the way. My wife brought this home to me. Post-show crap, dude. This is a Korean, I don't know, fucking massive calorie dog. Who knows? It's all right. So far, I'm eating dough, sweet potato bites, and cheese. Where the heck is the hot dog at? Anyway. Well, they have us outside, okay, at 6:37 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I don't even know what it was. And it's 40 degrees outside. 40 fucking degrees. Do you know what that means when you're lean as hell and a bodybuilder about ready to compete? Okay? 40 degrees. And guess what? They didn't have any heaters. We were freezing the entire time. Okay? When we started freezing, or we stopped freezing? 5 hours later, when I still wasn't on stage yet. So, all the guys that run muscle contests seem like really awesome people. They're definitely professional and been in the business for a long time, but the fact that we were 2 hours and 15 minutes behind schedule was like just absolutely ridiculous to me. I mean, unacceptable in so many ways. We should have gotten a way better update with how the show was going so that we could have left and came back or done something different to schedule ourselves. As bodybuilders, everything has to be very strategic and planned out, and they know this because they're ex-competitors and they've been doing it for a long time. And the only information we got was when the next thing was coming up. So I was supposed to be on stage around 10 a.m. and I didn't get on stage till about 12:15, 12:35, somewhere in between then. And here's the worst part about that. So not only did we deal with the freezing cold outside and the really, really behind schedule, but because they were really behind schedule, when we got on stage to do our 30 seconds or whatever, 15 seconds, and I got 2.5 poses done and pushed me off. And then they put me right back in line to go against the guys. And we went through zero of, what's it called? Oh my God, man. I'm eating so much food and I'm still forgetting shit right now. Compulsory turns or whatever it's called. So, like you're always doing that. Front relaxed, side, back relaxed, side. You always do that. I've never been to one competition, even in the Amateur Olympia when there was way more competitors than the event that I was in. Way more. We still did that. They had us do the front relaxed, then they had us do front double bicep, then they had us do a side turn to my right, then they had us do a side chest, then they had us do back relaxed, then they had us do back double bicep. So we at least did the movement. We didn't do any of them. That's how fast they were rushing us through. And then I'm a kind of guy that likes to set up right here, set myself, get my pose done right, transition. That screwed me up big time. I should have, as a competitor, figured out quicker that they were just running us through and just got right into the pose. Because I got second place, and the guy I lost to was good. He was shredded. He was not nearly as big as me, though. But he was shredded. But he was getting right into his pose. So I'm sure that helped him a lot because he was judged really, really quickly. And so we got judged in pretty much all the poses twice, but very quickly. And I'll talk about how quick it was. Front double bicep, side chest, back double bicep, abs and thigh. Favorite classic pose. Let's see the back double bicep one more time. Side chest, abs and thigh. Thanks, guys. It's exactly how it went. Exactly how it went, okay? So just learn from my experience. If you're ever in a national show, unless they're running you through it over and over again, so they're trying to see you guys, and they're going to put a lot of time and effort into your class. I wouldn't be doing all that slow setting up crap, because you got to get in position, man, so you can be judged properly. It's just another about of experience that's going to help me as a coach, because if I was ever to talk to one of my clients or one of my competitors now, I'm going to say, let's get you into that pose. Let's get you into the best position for your pose as fast as you can and snap those muscles tight, squeeze it, open up whatever pose you're in as quickly as possible so they can see you, compare you quickly at your best, not when you're just trying to get into the pose. And I know that hurt me quite a bit. So when I get off stage, it's like 12:35, 12:45. Obviously, I knew I was top two. I was in the top two, so I was in the middle. 12 guys in my division, and I was in the middle, me and this other guy, and we obviously got top two. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to knuckle down and do like good eating throughout the day, try and keep some water off of my from like spilling over and stuff. And I went home. Crazy thing was, though, you're supposed to come home or you're supposed to come back and tan at 2:00. That was an hour and 15 minutes later. I'm like, dude, the event's not even gonna start again till 4, and I probably won't get on stage till 7. What's the point of coming back that early? So I didn't get back till 4. And then they're like, oh, well, tanning's done. I was like, well, I already washed off, so I'm gonna need to get tanned again. So about 45 minutes later, they tanned me again. So if they tell you they're not gonna tan you, they're gonna tan you. You already paid a lot of money to get tanned. They're not gonna not tan you. The tanning people did break like 4 guns back there, the spray guns. So they had to go to the other tanning spot, pull out an entire new system, the wiring, the hosing, and the gun, and then hook it all back up, and then they sprayed me. Now, I saw myself on stage. I'll put some pictures in there. I wasn't nearly dark enough, so I don't know if it was because of getting resprayed again or what, but I definitely wasn't dark enough. That being said, the posing routine they had you do at the end, they couldn't use my music, so I just used whatever music was playing, and I didn't even hear the music, to be honest. I just set up a pretty cool routine that was very classic and kind of flowed well and knocked it out. You know, I was happy, I was confident with it. But as soon as I got done with that posing routine, they put us in line. Hey, this guy's fifth, this guy's sixth, or this guy's fifth, this guy's fourth, this guy's third, this guy's second, this guy's first. It was that fast, man. And then as soon as we got done with that, D class went up, and it took about 30 seconds for D class, and boom, they were already doing overall comparisons. So the guy that won the overall, I never saw him in person, but apparently he won like 3 pro cards. And he was like 48 years old or something. He's just freaking shredded. His name was Robert Walker. Shout out to him. Kicked ass, apparently. But, yeah, so a lot of things were learned then. And the event was not like what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit better quality. Another thing I really hated was I was there with a buddy and I wanted to go backstage, and they let no one backstage with anybody. Okay. So fine. Don't let anybody backstage. But they also didn't let any of the athletes go into the Coliseum and watch the event, which I could totally get if they were sold out, man, and they were killing it. There was no spots open. But for prejudging, there was probably like 70 seats open. So maybe they were just trying to keep competitors out of there because there were so many competitors. They didn't want everyone just flood in there and take over the whole place. But to me, it didn't make any sense. It should have been, they should have let all the competitors in there. You know why? It would have looked like a better event. There were so many seats open. It looked like an empty arena, at least in the prejudging. In the evening event was pretty good. And there was a lot of cheering and it was cool and stuff like that, but it wasn't like it should have been. Okay. It just wasn't even close to like it should have been. In prejudging, for them to restrict athletes from going in and watching their boys or their athletes, or, somebody, or just wanting to watch the event because we love bodybuilding and we just want to watch it. So that's my recap. I'll put in like a small video right here of kind of what I look like right now, about 3 weeks post show. I'm up to 228.8 in the morning. My rebound's going crazy good. I'm definitely adding size, but my muscle volume, the volume of my muscle is crazy. To me, I think I over dieted a bit. And I also had to try and bring down my calories pretty excessively because from the Olympia to the Masters, I wanted to add some additional size, which I actually think I did too, which I thought was cool. And my fullness on stage was pretty crazy, which was good, but it's like, I'm a water buffalo, man. I'm a freaking water buffalo. And I honestly think I've never taken a diuretic in my life. I honestly think I'm going to probably have to take a diuretic on the next show. Honestly, or I'll have to stop drinking water like 2 days before, which it just never seems to work out right. But my body, dude, I hold so much water, and I'll put a freaking video of what I look like the night after the show. And if you try and tell me I was too fat, I'm going to laugh at you pretty hard. So don't fucking tell me you're too fat, want your water. Because you're fucking stupid. Oh, man. But anyways, yeah, man, just some people, dude. And I've noticed this my whole life. I think I just hold way more water than just the average person holds water, especially when I get lean. I look good when I'm all pumped up and shit in the gym, but I still have that film. And the guy I lost to had no film, dude. This guy looked freaking, his abs and lower back and shit was just like, what? His skin was just wrapped around him. I mean, that was the most impressive thing about him. My back was twice as big. My chest was twice as big. My arms were just as big as his, maybe a little bigger. My quads were twice as big as his quads. He had good hamstrings, though. Good hamstrings. But his skin was just saran wrapped on him, and it was good. It looked good. And his tan was fantastic. It looked like he had like a real tan. Like it looked like he actually was tanning in a tanning bed for like weeks or months. And that might have helped his skin tighten up too. You know what I mean? That's always helped my skin tighten up in the past too. But, I'd like to avoid skin cancer if I can. So you already do so much to yourself getting ready for a bodybuilding show. I don't know if I want to add skin cancer to it, but whatever. Long story short, I don't remember the guy's name that beat me. But hats off to him. Class C. Classic physique, masters 35 and older. My plans next year, this year coming up, based on how I'm looking right now, it's gonna grow. I don't know, man. I just want to see what I can do. I'm 35, and I want to see how big I can get at the moment. I want to see if my body will hold up, and if there's how much limitations I have. Classic physique is cool, but bodybuilding has always been about how good you can get yourself to look, And for me, I want to see what I can do with my physique. And I got my blood work on Wednesday after the show, which was on Saturday. And everything was good. I just had a little bit of elevated liver enzymes, which is pretty normal after you literally kick the living crap out of yourself getting ready for a show. But my kidney levels were all really good, probably because I didn't use a diuretic. But kidney levels were all good. Blood was great. Yeah. So for the most part, I think I want to go a little hard and see how I do. And maybe I'll compete in light heavyweight or super heavyweights at some point, or maybe I'll get stuck and I just won't want to grow anymore, or I won't want to continue to push food. But I love eating. Eating is like the easiest thing for me. I don't even know. When people have a hard time with eating, I just laugh at them. But I can eat all day. So I'll talk a little bit more about a rebound in the next video and how I'm doing it, and also what I think works, and how much fat you should put on and all that stuff. But thanks so much for watching. If you subscribe, that would be freaking nice. And then everyone wants to hit that like button right now because apparently it's killing it with the algorithm. So maybe do that for me. Also, I did get that new camera. Guess what? I got Adobe Premiere now. So I'm about to edit some shit. So hopefully I'll be able to start editing some stuff and it'll be pretty sweet. But I'll talk to you guys soon. There's a link for Gaspari in the thing for some discounts if you guys want some supplements. And I really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.